comes to dating versus courting. So, hey, Ladybug, how are you? And go ahead and
Good.
introduce yourself and kind of tell us a little bit about you before we dive into this hot topic.
So my name is Omisha Adams. If you've been here, you've been listening to Singles with a Testimony, you have seen me, you have heard me, you have heard my opinions on things. I'm just a very outgoing, young woman. I work hard. I'm in the community, just trying to make an impact and do exactly what God said to do.
Amen. Amen. So, we're going to go ahead, you guys, and dive right on in. And so, we're going to go ahead with the first question. How important is it to know the difference between dating and courting? And please explain why, Lady Omisha.
So it is very important to know the difference because we as women we sometimes get those lines blurred. Dating and courting is pretty much the same thing. It's just the amount of effort that's put into one and not the other. And when I say the amount of effort, when people say we're dating, you can date Paul, Tim, John, Tyrone. You're dating. You're going out. You're hanging out, Netflix and chill. It's casual. You're just going out, having a good time. Maybe getting to know them. Maybe not getting to know them. Just dating. Courting, on the other hand, courting is dating with a purpose.
Mm,
And sometimes we as women we think we he's courting me because he's taking me out, or we're having a good time, or he paid for something, or this, that, and the other. And he could be dating you, Jane, Rebecca, Shaquan, whomever. But
absolutely. Absolutely.
that's the difference between dating and courting. Dating, casually going out, having a good time, knowing his first and last name, her first and last
First
name,
and last name. Now, come on, y'all.
first and last name, just going out and having a good time. But when you are courting somebody, or when somebody is courting you, you're putting effort into it. Like it's an effort. That's the difference between dating and courting, in my opinion.
Okay, okay, and I can definitely piggyback on that because as my sister said, as women, and we're not just beating up on the sisters, we just saying that for whatever reason we feel like she said, oh, he buying me things, he's taking me out, we talk on the phone on the regular, we have some things in
Hmm.
common. Hey, to be honest, many of us have had sex with that person, so surely if we didn't cross that line, or we not
Yeah,
just talking, we not dating, baby, you my man, or I'm your woman, or
exactly. Oh,
whatever the
we
case is, or
we courting. We
surely,
court. He's
please
courting
don't get
me.
during that dating time, a baby has come into the picture. So we surely believe it's only a matter of time before he's going to give us his last name and before we're going to get married. But what happens, sister, when that dating never turns to courting, and then he leaves you and go off and date somebody, court somebody, and marry somebody? Talk about that.
Uh, so I'm gonna be truthful. That happened to me. I'm just gonna be truthful. Me and the guy we were talking. We had been talking for years. I didn't even know. I didn't even know about anybody else. It was just me, hanging out all the time, going out, buying me stuff. Those special days like Valentine's Day and my birthday, Christmas, just making it really, really special. Come to find out,
Mm,
I wasn't the only one he was dating.
mm. Say it ain't so.
And then after a while, I was like, once I found out that I wasn't the only one that he was dating or taking serious, I was like, let me go and move on. Let me try to pick up the pieces of myself, because at that point I'm thinking, because we were talking about like solely, we were talking about future plans, and when women start talking about future plans,
Yeah,
that's my dude. Like we together. Like that's my guy. We're
absolutely.
talking about future plans, like future plans with each other, not just like future plans like, oh, I want to get married one day, oh, I want to have children one day. No, future plans like, oh, what's your ring size, or oh,
Oh, oh yeah, yeah,
um,
take it there.
yeah, oh, what's your ring size, or oh, how can you see us together, or do you want the white like the picket fence, or the house and this and that, like really really talking and thinking we were moving into that direction, but overall it didn't work out. um I left him alone. I found out he went back and married his baby mama.
Okay. And so we're gonna move on to that's a wow. Okay, so the next question is, who do you believe it affects more and why?
So, you know, I'm just gonna be honest. It's some women out here who really like men, like they real gangster about this, and they have no. When I say cutthroat, 'cause I know some.
Yes.
I know some women. I just be like, friend, okay, girl. But it affects both. I would say people would say society would say women more
Mm-hmm.
than men, but you have some men that are affected by that. You
Yeah.
have people who are really really hurt by that because in their mind, again, based on let's just say this. Courting and dating is about communication. Let's just start there.
There you go. See, that's the same thing brother said. Come on, y'all. These young people here, and they know what's up.
Courting and dating is all about communication. You have to have a fine line when you are talking to somebody, introducing yourself to somebody, getting to know yourself and somebody else in that same space. It has to be a level of communication that has to be had.
Hmm.
Point blank period. What are you looking for? What are your intentions?
That's
Those are the
it.
questions. What are you looking for? What are your intentions? If you just looking to date, okay, cool. In my mind, okay, they just looking to date. Okay, so let me date.
And
Now
then
don't get mad.
uh,
Don't get mad.
now,
On a
don't
Friday,
forget.
you say what you're doing. On a Saturday, you say what you're doing. Oh, I'm hanging out with such and such. Don't get mad because we have established that you don't want anything more. You're not looking for anything more. You just want to date. You want to go out. You want to hang out. You want to be cool. Okay, cool. We can do that. Now, sometimes dating turns into courting
Yes.
because you both go in there with the intention of, whoa, whoa, maybe I might have been hurt. Whoa, whoa, am I all the way healed? Am I going to let somebody else in? And
Yeah.
if you do, and you choose to, then dating does sometimes turn into courting. And you could be dating multiple people, and just somebody stepped up, and y'all had a better vibe, a better connection, and it turns into courting. So again, it's all about a level of communication and the actions that appear when it comes to courting and dating.
It's about action. Yes, it is. So I'm going to ask you, Lady Omisha, what is your opinion about dating versus courting as a young, unmarried Christian woman? Because we know, yes, um, people going to date whether they know the Lord or they don't, right? But we know for us, everything that we do should be on purpose, purpose, and about purpose, which
Right.
means that if I know I'm a woman and I know in my heart that I desire to date somebody with the intent to be courted and be engaged and be married, why then would I date all these multiple people and giving all these multiple people access to me in my space? Or I tell this guy, oh, I'm cool with dating when I know really my heart's desire is to not waste my time on a date and it's not going to go anywhere.
That's why you vet them over the phone. You vet them over the phone. Point blank period. You don't have to when you meet somebody, you don't have to initially, oh, let's go out hang out. No, you can do like the old people do. Like you talk on the phone for a long time,
Hmm.
FaceTime and this, that, and the other, and it just doesn't have to be one person. You know, first sentence, second sentence, after about a week, if you really want to go out with that person, dating versus courting as a Christian, married Christian, I'ma just be honest, it's ghetto.
They said,
Yeah, it's ghetto.
yeah, because everybody doing
And
their
I
own thing. They say
say,
it, but they're really doing the opposite of
yeah,
what they're
like
saying. So yeah.
it's really ghetto, and you have to be grounded in purpose, and you have to be grounded in love, and you have to be grounded in God because it's really really hard because they say don't do things of the world and be of the world. Okay, God, I get it. Don't do things of the world and be of the world, but I'm human at the same time. God, what do I do? How would you settle my spirit? How would you have me go about it? I'm not perfect. I don't do it all the time. But there's just some things that we as unmarried Christians have to deal with. Can we date multiple people? I can talk to multiple people if I want to.
Hmm. Hmm.
Am I dating them? No. Am I
Right.
am I vetting? Yeah. Because you have to vet somebody because like I said, in the first week, you already know if you want to talk to that person because you're having a conversation. It's a conversation that needs to be had because if a person tells you
Yep. Yep.
what they want in the beginning, let me tell you, ladies, people, men, women, children, they tell you what they want and they tell you.
Yeah.
They tell you.
Whether they showing you or not, they
They
telling you.
tell you. They
Yeah.
tell you in actions. They tell you in words. They tell you. If somebody say, oh, I'm ready to be with somebody. I've had a stream of girls or women who just didn't do me right, and I'm ready to, what I'm saying, I want to be with somebody, and yada 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 yada, and there's no consistency.
Bam. Red flag number one.
No
No consistency.
consistency. You ain't ready to be with nobody because to be with somebody or to actually court or vet somebody, you have to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in 2023, we have too much technology not to be consistent.
Sweetie, come on.
It's just like me saying, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna call you back." But you see me on Facebook posting pictures and this, that, and the other. On Instagram posting and having a good time.
Right.
Like it takes consistency if you really want something. Consistency, conversation, like it takes those things. Like don't tell me that I'm ready for something when you're not. Like,
Absolutely.
let me tell y'all, 2023, yeah, these people really be bringing their representatives. Like, y'all gonna be careful because the representatives will have you sign the car, sign the car insurance for somebody. Like, don't get swept up in the representatives.
uh, tell us who are the representatives? Now, that's something I ain't never heard.
The representative? Oh, you've never met a representative before?
No, ma'am. I'm
Oh,
old school for real, for real.
oh, the representative is the person who gets you. Like that's the person. That's the person that you wound up liking.
Ah,
And then
gotcha. Okay.
once that thing settle in and y'all settle in, you be looking like, what have I gotten myself into? This is you looking at yourself like, I know you lying. This is
Right.
this is not what I signed up for.
And now you stuck. You done woke up, as it say, woke up love before it's time.
Right.
You done
You
hit a
didn't
nibble
you
here and
got
there.
stuck.
And yeah, now you
You
stuck.
don't, you don't know whether you want to leave or not. You conflicted out in your spirit, like
Yeah, yeah.
it's happened to me. And that's for men and women. I'm never gonna bash the ladies,
Oh
never
no.
gonna bash just the men. But it happens to all of us.
Yes. Yes, yes.
And the best of us. Don't think that your favorite
Oh,
celebrity ain't never been or had never done.
absolutely. Absolutely. And y'all, like she's saying, we have to be rooted and grounded. It doesn't mean that you may not get blindsided. It don't mean that you may not get a curveball thrown at you, but you have to one, and it's important that you have a relationship with God so that you can pray. And like she say, some of us be praying, but there again, that representative then caught our eye, and prayer and everything else, unfortunately, then went out the window. And
Because
so
sometimes
now we stuck.
when we pray for surface.
Yeah, there you go. Good. That's good. Good
You
point.
pray
Good
for
point.
surface. Oh God, let him be this, let him be that, let him have this and let him have that. Instead of God, I want a man or a woman who chases after your own heart.
Come
God,
on.
let me find somebody rooted in you. God, let me, those are the
Come
prayers that you need to pray. Like,
on.
no, don't let me. I don't want. He got to look a certain way. She got to look a certain way. Have a certain type of hairstyle. Make a certain amount of money. Because at the end of the day, like you want Tyra Banks, but you working at McDonald's. Like
Oh,
I'm
stop
not saying,
now.
I'm not saying that you can't get that caliber of woman because you work at
I see what
McDonald's.
you're saying.
But what I am saying is that let's have some realistic expectations, especially if you the fry guy
Yeah, yeah,
and you're not
yeah,
the general manager or you own a McDonald's, you the fry guy.
yeah,
Ain't
yeah,
nothing wrong with
yeah.
the fry guy, but I'm just saying like let's have some realistic. Let's be realistic.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so now we're gonna go on to go ahead and ask you to get. We would like to get your definition again of dating for the people. What is the definition of dating according to Lady Omisha? We know you pretty much said what the actual Webster dictionary said: talking, going out, social things, and this, that, and the other. So just we want to
um,
hear it again.
dating is casually going out with somebody. Like you just casually going out with somebody. You don't really have like you just don't really have a end goal. Like there's no end goal. Like
If the options are
and
open,
then people think you dating. Like you could be dating else. You can be going out on a date with your sister, your best friend, like your friends. Like it's not always
that's a good. Now that's a good point. When you say we out of date, and it's just girls' night out,
right.
boys' night out.
We're on a date, but if we're talking about man and woman or something like that, then yeah, it's just casually going out having a good time. You don't have any expectations. They don't have any expectations. You're just basically going out having a good time. You getting to know that person's first and last name, and preferably they're not a serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah, preferably they're not a serial killer. Okay, and so again, your definition on courting.
Courting is dating with a purpose. Like you are dating with the
For
expectation
example,
of.
and that's so simple. I got a purpose. It's like I like you, I see you. Yes, I'm gonna date you because I have to get to know you,
Yeah.
and things like that, and see what you like, what you don't like, and then I have to be open and honest with you, and put my cards on the table, a certain amount, and let you know this is what I'm looking for, and not say I'm looking for one thing, but I'm receiving another.
Right.
And you start switching up the game, and it's like, okay, well, I thought you said this is all we're doing. Why are you all in your feelings about this or that? But we just dating. We're
Right.
not trying to solidify anything. And
We don't have no titles, no this, that, and the other.
yeah,
Courting,
yeah.
courting comes with the title.
Absolutely. And then know this, brothers and well as sisters, that when you are dating, you do not owe anyone your body.
Nothing.
You
You
don't
know,
owe them your body. So they should not come in expecting to get a piece of anything because we just dating.
when you courting, you don't owe them nothing. You don't owe them no. You don't owe
There
them your
you
body.
go.
You
Come
don't owe
on
them your
now.
body until you have a ring on your finger. That's the only.
And we have said I do. Because see, sometimes I've known people and I have had it myself to where, oh, you get a ring on your finger, but that's a stall tactic too, to kind
Right.
of string you along, for here it is May, we done got engaged, and here it is May again, and we haven't even set a date.
We ain't set a date. We ain't made no plans. I ain't. We
Right,
ain't.
absolutely.
We ain't told your sister them. It was a private everything, and just nah.
That's another thing that's not a real courtship, because once it becomes a courtship, men may or may not ask the father to, if there's a father, but they're gonna go to the
You
family
better
of
ask
that
my mama,
child.
my grandma, somebody. You better ask
That's what
somebody.
yeah, you're gonna let them know, hey, I want to marry, I would like your blessing, I want to marry your daughter, whatever. Everybody gonna know it, even your homeboy. But by the mere fact they don't know that, that's not even a real courtship. So now, I'm gonna ask this kind of. I don't think that there's an issue necessarily with us as believers, unmarried, Christians dating, because we got to get to know the person. My thing is, if like you said something earlier, if I still have trust issues, if I'm still real broken, if I'm still too clingy, too needy, and I haven't healed yet, okay, should I be dating?
Then why you dating? I was just saying, why you dating? Because you cannot put that on the next person. You cannot put your broken pieces on the next person. Because what's crazy is, as people, I'm gonna say people because men and women do it. As people, not being healed all the way and going into a situation, you expect that person to heal that part of you that's still broken, and that's not fair to them because they didn't do anything, and you wound up pushing the best thing for you away from you because you haven't fully healed. That person doesn't know how to. That's just like I said earlier in my situation. Had I jumped into something right then and there, being so broken, because me and that guy over 5 years, me, like, if I had jumped right into something after that, I would have pushed out. It would have been really bad for the next person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It would have been really, really bad for that person because I wasn't healed. I was still broken. I didn't know myself no more. I didn't know how to trust. I didn't love myself. I was super insecure. I didn't like anything about me. And me trying to date, I would have just it wouldn't have turned out well.
At all. At
Because
all.
at that point I'm just trying to fill a void that can't be filled.
That's it. And that's really what it is. And a lot of us don't think that's what we're doing. And this is what we want you guys to get. Not saying you can't date, because how you gonna really get to know the person. But give yourself time to heal, especially like she said, in a 5-year relationship. You got to heal. You got to get to know yourself all over again. You got to get your, as they say, get your power back. Find out, okay, what happened, why did I fall for that. You have to learn to forgive yourself and that person, because you're gonna have some resentment, you're gonna have some bitterness up off in that. I'm just gonna keep it real with you.
And
You're gonna be
and
mad
I'm
about some
and
things.
I'm not gonna lie, there are still parts of me that are hurt from there. Like I don't I talk to people, but for me, being so broken and so hurt and still trying to heal some of that within me, like, first sign of inconsistency, it's a wrap. And they
Yeah,
be like, well, I didn't do nothing. I'm like, well, you were inconsistent.
yeah, Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
inconsistent, and I'm okay with it. Okay, you have a good one. Like, and I shouldn't be that way because that's something that I'm still dealing with. So, like, he'll deal with it because the other person doesn't deserve that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if
Absolutely.
they just being a jackbutt, then okay, I can see. But other than that, the other person doesn't deserve that because if you're not verbally speaking it to that person, or if you're not like in courting, if you're not telling this person is really not asking you that they see something and they see some of your ways and they ask you, what happened, what's wrong. If you're not telling them so they can have a mental note about it, or
There you go.
they'll never know. And then
Right.
you
Right.
will just be projecting your anger and your bitterness onto that person. And that person like, you know what, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then when they move on and you see him or her with somebody else, she be looking like, I knew it, yada yada yada. And in retrospect, you didn't know anything because you didn't communicate. You
Ah, she said you ain't know nothing because you didn't even give the person the
didn't
option.
even communicate.
Yeah, yeah. So what I'm hearing, you guys, is you have to communicate. You got to be, and like the love doctor, like he said, you have to be honest with yourself. They both said the same thing. Communication. Let that other person know where you are at and find out if where they are at, and then decide, is this something that I want to pursue? Men, women,
Absolutely.
is this something that I'm ready to handle or become a part of? Don't just say yes because I got an itch that need to be scratched. I mean, you're gonna always have that, but there again, that can get you in trouble. Like she said, now you're going through something that you're still having to go through another healing process, and then you're taking that baggage and that baggage. Like, look at here, that song by Erica Badu, I love it because I understand what she's saying when she say bags. She's not talking about like bags. She's talking about all of those issues
Baggage. Mm-hmm.
that you bring with. Now, know this, people of God, a people, period. We are gonna have some stuff that we're gonna bring into our relationship. That's just period, point blank. We're gonna still have something that we're working on. However, though, it's less bags that you have to carry. That's what you need to do. So deal with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Like she said, hey, I'm just not ready. I'll share with you guys, I do not date. And I have not dated. And I was honest with myself because I still was dealing with those issues that hurt from that 8-year relationship. I just didn't want to deal with it. And I knew that if I saw the first sign of anything that looked like what that brother did, you
I
know
don't
what?
want
Yeah,
it.
bye.
I
Yeah,
don't want
bye.
it.
Bye. And I'm not gonna even feel bad about telling you bye. And that's the messed up part. Because like she said, that person's like, why are you doing that to me? I didn't even do anything. I mean, I did, but it was my mistake on my terms. You're punishing me for his mistakes
Correct.
on, and you putting them to mine. So I will ask you, sis, give us some nuggets, some sugar cubes, on how we can really actually know the difference. And once we know the difference, what does that look like?
So to know the difference is if they do something like the smallest thing and it triggers you, you're not healed.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like that first sign of inconsistency, now I'm good on it. You can go like we good, like I don't want to talk no more. I'm triggered. I'm not
Yeah,
healed.
not even hearing the reason why, because it
I
could be
don't, because I
about
don't care. I
right.
don't
There you
care.
go. That's it.
When you're triggered and you don't care, you're not healed.
Yeah, yeah.
Blame period. Um, and also I would say in the black culture, in the black community, in the black culture, they think therapy is an issue. Go if you need to go.
Yes,
If
yes,
you need someone to talk to, because sometimes you can't talk to your family. You
yeah.
can talk to your best friend. You can like we always say, talk to Jesus. He hears you. But sometimes,
It's okay.
he gives you things in signs. He gives you things you have to
Yeah.
hear it, and you have to be open to hear it. But if you all clogged up, sometimes you need a person to talk to so you can
Oh,
hear it.
absolutely. Absolutely. It
You
says
can
seek
hear
wise
that.
counsel. So yeah, he's not against us going to see a person. I mean, he may that's what you feeling is probably the Holy Spirit telling you, baby, you need to go get a counselor.
Right. You
It's
go
not
talk to
saying that you
somebody.
don't believe in God or you don't trust him.
Right. You need to go talk to somebody because I thought that me being raised by a single mom and not having my dad having an absentee father was gonna be okay. I thought that
Mm,
growing up, and the crazy part about it is I knew my dad my whole life. He was always around. He just wasn't in my life. I see him at my grandma's house, go to my aunt's house, he be there. But as far as an active participant, no,
Mm-mm.
and that's for a girl, and I'm the oldest girl.
Oh yeah, I know you. Me
It,
too.
it, the oldest girl, it did something to me. How I handled my relationships, how I handled dating, how I handled all that,
Mm-hmm.
it played a part.
Yeah.
It really played a part. You know, even in my grown as I am now, it still kind of plays a part because he just is who he is. Like I love him dearly, but I had to realize he didn't receive what he needed, so he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't give me what I needed,
And that is key.
and I can't fault him for that.
Very mature. That's a very mature answer because
I can't fault him for that, but I can ask for forgiveness for how I felt about him, how I treated him in my old age. Because baby, I would Christians. Let me tell you, we still cuss word every now and again. He's still working on us,
yeah,
working on us.
yeah,
But that's something that I had to deal with and figure out. Okay, how Misha, how you gonna navigate through life and date with that type of feeling? And it's hard. It's really really hard.
yeah,
You have to really really talk, and you have to really really, like she said, the love that say you have to be honest with yourself.
yeah.
If you out here, if you not being honest and authentic and true to yourself, it ain't no point of dating. It ain't even no point of even trying to nurture friendships because you're not gonna be honest with your friends.
Come see, and that's good. If you are broken and you got trust issues or you don't trust nobody, how are you going to have any type of a relationship? Whether that's with your homegirls, your homeboys, your business partners, and please don't talk about a mate because this person is somebody who is going to be your life partner. If you have trust issues, how you gonna have a healthy relationship or healthy marriage? We know it's gonna be some stuff going on, but how you because you look
Right.
at when you have trust issues. See, and that's why I was real with God. When people was like, well, you don't want to be married, you ain't trying to say right now, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't worried about that right now because I got to get my mind together because I already know I don't want to deal with all of that cheating. I don't, and that's like, why am I going into the mindset that the brother gonna cheat?
Don't cheat on
I
you, right?
ain't even met the man yet. He ain't came. I already done tried him and sentenced him, and he ain't even came. So
Right.
just because, like she's saying, I'm not here. So people, take this time if you are not in a relationship. I hope that you have a relationship with the Father. And if
Exactly.
not, I'm just gonna say get one. Though even in getting one, it's still a process that you still got to work and you got to be intentional about that relationship. But let the healing come, and guess what? Healing is gonna be messy,
Child.
messy. Because some
Look,
things come up that you thought that the reason why I'm really triggered by that, it ain't got nothing to do with that man. Like she said, it's got something to do because she didn't have a relationship with her dad. It has nothing really even to do with that man,
it's
so we
me.
think it's that. So yeah,
It's me.
I should say
You know,
it's me, oh Lord.
and I'm honest with myself.
Yeah,
It's me sometimes. I have to
yeah,
be honest.
yeah. We have to be honest with ourselves. So yes, guys. I just want to say, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. And you can catch us every Saturday here on the BPG Inspirational Station.com. Every Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time at the Holiest Tea House here in Houston, Texas, or as they say, H Town, where it always goes down. This is my sister, my line sister, leading ladies. We representing y'all, and so we went through that. That was a healing process, and so you got to get in a healing. You have to, so that you can be the best version that God created you to be. And then when you go into a relationship, you're not really even going into what they can do for you. You're really going into it so how you can add to them.
Value to them,
But if you got
absolutely.
all broken and got a bunch of holes, you can't give nothing because you ain't got nothing to give because you're
Correct.
not solid within yourself. So again, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in, for allowing us into your home on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. And hey, make sure that you catch us on the flip side because she will be back. He will be